July 22, 2004. Saint Daniel Comboni. We are happy for you, my brothers and sisters. The time of darkness is both nearing its end and drawing nearer. The difference in the darkness of past times is that in the past you experienced the darkness of sin. The future darkness will be the darkness of purification. Of the two, I would anticipate the latter with greater joy. This is obvious because whatever comes from God's hand is for our benefit, whereas anything that comes from the hand of the enemy will work against us and pull us away from truth. When you consider the future, and you feel the very human impulse to be afraid, remember that God is directing the changes. You should not fear what comes from God, because He will use it for your sanctification. Let us consider sanctification. Sanctification is a process rather than an event or a state of being. We move through this process obtaining greater and greater spiritual ability and awareness. We are destined to reach a certain level on earth. We do this through cooperation with Christ's sanctifying grace, which we are granted through prayer, the sacraments, and generally living life as a Christian. Now, my friends on earth will not be offended if I say that from my vantage point, the high ground, that is heaven, I see a world in which many, including many who were destined to be great spiritual leaders, have failed to cooperate with the process of sanctification in their lives. This is bad. The world suffers. People directly around this person, who were destined to flourish, wither instead, and the individual themself does not reach the high level which is available to them. This widespread phenomenon of non-serviam is a result of the darkness, of course, but has also fueled the darkness. I speak now of the darkness of sin, and not the darkness of purification. After the darkness of purification, which is allowed by God, people will serve again. They will cooperate joyfully with the process of sanctification in their lives. Brothers and sisters, there will be peace on earth. That will be the end result. Of course, like sanctification, there is a process necessary to get from here to there. The upheavals in your world are that process. It will look like an extended and inflated time of the enemy's darkness, but I am telling you today that our Lord, in His wisdom and mercy, is allowing the enemy to run, knowing full well that the enemy, evil in your world, cannot survive. You are familiar with the idea of giving a bad person enough space with which he eventually does damage to himself. That is a general description of what is to occur. For those of you who object to this, tempted toward anger at God for allowing the enemy to operate, let me say that you are shouting a little too late and a little too softly. Please remember that, if humanity had been obedient, the world would not have gotten to this point. Now do not be angry at me for speaking the truth. Surely you can see that even in your own life there were times when you did not cooperate with Christ. Few in this time have truly cooperated. Am I trying to insult you and make enemies? No, I was also a great sinner. If you keep company with me, you will be in the company of a reformed sinner. I do not hide my flaws because it is through the conquering of them that I was sanctified. I am your friend. Call on me to help you. When you are tempted to sin, cry out, Daniel, I need graces. I will get them for you, and you will be triumphant. Do not fear the future. It is God's time. End of message.